I want to show you some of the most ominous sights so far this evening. Two massive explosions within sight of our CNN crews in the capital of Kyiv. These flashes of light keep glowing in the distance. The mayor of the town where this happened, about 18 miles from the center of the capital, says a petroleum storage depot was hit. And here's new video closer to the scene. This is an area that has a large military airfield and multiple fuel tanks. Quoting from the mayor now, "The enemy wants to destroy everything around, but he will not be successful. Our airfield was shelled as well, but we got it. It's under control of Ukraine." The mayor adding, "The night will be difficult here as well in Kyiv, but we will stand our ground and we will win because God is with us." CNN's Alex Marquardt reported from a rooftop just moments after the blasts hit.
Ben, since then, for the past 7-8 minutes, there has been this pulsing glow in the distance. You have to imagine that it is some kind of fire. It is a very eerie scene. It is a location that we've been looking at earlier today because there was a missile or a rocket that hit a residential building near that airport.
And here is where things stand with the war entering a fourth day. Russia's invasion is hitting, quote, stiffer than expected resistance from the Ukrainian military. That is according to two senior U.S. officials speaking to CNN. The Russians are also suffering heavier losses in personnel, armor, and aircraft than expected and face unexpected difficulties supplying their forces. A senior defense official says Ukrainian air defenses have performed better than anticipated in pre-invasion U.S. intelligence assessments. And Russia has yet to establish air supremacy over Ukraine. Ukraine now plans to close its borders to Russia and Belarus beginning Monday. Only Ukrainian citizens will be allowed to cross from those countries into Ukraine. A UN official tells CNN more than 120,000 people have escaped Ukraine since the assault began. And there are lines at a number of border crossings. Poland says 47,000 refugees crossed its borders yesterday alone. So much desperation right now taking place there. I want to go straight to CNN's Matthew Chance in Ukraine's capital city, Kyiv. What are you seeing there right now, Matthew?
Pam, well, very tense situation, as you might expect in the Ukrainian capital, because the intelligence suggests, and what Ukrainian officials suggest, is that Russian forces are, gathering their strength and poised to attempt an assault on the city. Those big flashes, those glows that we saw Alex report on earlier, well, they're still taking place to a lesser extent now, but in the distance right behind me, that is the Vasylkiv area. There's a strategic air base located there. And that's a location where we believe Russian special forces were initially deployed, one of the locations, to try and establish a bridgehead that they could have used to bring in more forces, more troops, more armour, in order to surround the capital and stage that invasion of the Ukrainian city here of Kiev. That did not happen, though, for whatever reason. Clearly, they met a great deal of resistance on the ground. It's not clear who is in control of that region right now, but as the mayor of the local area said, those big flares we saw lighting up the sky, most likely to be fuel tanks, storage tanks, possibly because of the close by airbase that had been ignited. So clearly there is some sort of confrontation underway right there now. It's possible for us to go and have a look because there is a curfew in place in this city, and it's not going to be lifted until Monday morning. So the whole of Sunday there's going to be a curfew as well, and that's a reflection of how concerned the authorities are here, that we are on the cusp of something very dangerous and very big, waiting, essentially preparing many of the residents here for a big push potentially by the Russians to take over Kiev.